Chapter 40. We continue as we see Chiaki fallen on the floor and frothing from his mouth as everyone is worried about him. He suddenly regains conscious and wakes up as he gasps. We see Aihara asking Chiaki if he's okay, as Chiaki is getting up. Minaguchi also stands there as she looks worried about him. Chiaki holds his head and tells them that he's fine, and just a bit sleep-deprived, that's all. Suddenly, someone screams and says, "No chance!" We see that it's their teacher looking scared and worried as she drags Chiaki and tells him that she needs to take him to the hospital and that he can't stay in school like this. As she's dragging him, we see him trying to get out of her hold and go away. As she takes him away, we see everyone in the class worry. Now the next class starts. As the class is going on, we see the MC think about Chiaki and Ayana. He thinks that ever since Chiaki got together with Ayana, he's been looking pale and spaced out all the time. The MC never thought that Chiaki would be in such a bad shape to just pass out like that. Suddenly he looks at Yukishiro. He keeps looking at her and says nothing. As soon as the bell rings and the period ends, he calls out to Yukishiro. He wants to continue about what they were talking about in the morning and asks her what was wrong with her and if something happened. She panics and tells him that nothing happened. She continues and tells him that she's sorry and that it was nothing, so he doesn't need to worry about it. She hesitantly tells him that she thinks that she had a nightmare and just got all caught up in her emotions, that's all. Hearing this worries the MC a little, as she's panicking. They both keep staring at each other. The MC notices that she's tensed and worried about something. He looks at her tensed and thinks that maybe he shouldn't keep pushing her right now. She speaks and says that she hopes that Chiaki is okay and that she's kinda worried about him. The MC looks at her worried and thinks that he knows that she's worried about Chiaki right now, but he has a feeling that she's just trying to hide the reason why she was being off with him back then. He thinks that she's also avoiding him like how Chiaki has been avoiding him, and that Yukishiro seems so distant right now. He thinks that leaving things alone is what led to the commotions this morning, and that this is really awkward. When the other person clearly just wants to be left alone, what is he supposed to do? As he keeps his books, he thinks that he's not got enough experience in these sorts of situations to know what to do. He remembers spending time with Chiaki and Yukishiro and thinks that the worst part is that the people he would normally talk to and get advice from at a time like this are Chiaki and Yukishiro. He thinks that there's no way he can tell Yukishiro that he wants to date her with how things are right now. Now we see that the lunch break has started, and all the students are going to have lunch. As we see the other students talking about what they want to eat today, we see the MC sitting alone and sighing as he worries. He thinks that he doesn't know what to do, and no matter how much he sits here thinking about it, he just ends up going around in circles. He gets more stressed as he thinks that all of this is because he's spent his entire life only ever interacting with Hanabi and calls himself pathetic. As he has his head in his arms and worrying about what to do, some girls look at him and say, "What's wrong with him?" He hears them and feels more bad and awkward. Suddenly he hears someone call out to him and he turns back to see who it is. We see that it's Aihara and Minaguchi waving at him with big cheerful smiles on their faces. They come towards him and stand behind him, leaning on the bench he's sitting on. Aihara asks him what's wrong and why is he sitting out her all alone. He looks at them and thinks that both of them have started coming over to talk to him a lot more now, since they realize that he doesn't really socialize with anyone else. Besides Chiaki and Yukishiro, they're the classmates he talks to the most. Aihara asks him if he has lunch already and if he managed to get something yet. The MC tells him that he didn't have anything yet. Suddenly, with a big smile on her face, Minaguchi surprises him with a bunch of sandwiches in her hand and tells him that they figured that he didn't have anything yet, so they bought one of every sandwich from the cafeteria and asks him to pick whichever one he likes. They both sit next to the MC as they excuse themselves. With sparkles in her eyes, she tells the MC to eat up. He thanks her and starts eating the sandwich. As the MC is eating, Aihara tells him to just listen to them while he's doing this. Suddenly he asks the MC if there's something that's worrying him. Hearing this suddenly surprises the MC. Aihara continues and asks him if it's something to do with Chiaki, and he's seen that recently they both haven't seemed the same together. He continues and tells him that maybe there's something that they can do to help, and tells him that he can talk to them anytime. Minaguchi also nods and agrees with Aihara. The MC hesitates at first, as he thinks that he does usually talk to both of them quite a bit, and wonders if it's really okay to ask for their opinion. He thinks a bit more, and wonders how did these both even know that he was sitting here by himself and worrying about something. Aihara suddenly speaks, and tells the MC that he heard Chiaki saying that he collapsed today because of lack of sleep, and asks the MC if him and Chiaki fought or something. As the MC hesitantly replies, Minaguchi suddenly notices something. She suddenly jumps and apologizes to the MC and tells him that they're not trying to force him to talk. It's just that Eigawa, Eihara, and herself are all just really worried about him. Hearing this confuses him. He remembers Eigawa and wonders, why is her name being mentioned right now? He asks Minaguchi, why is she bringing Agawa's name out of the blue? She apologizes and tells him that it was actually Agawa who came and told them that he's sitting here by himself as he looked troubled. Minaguchi continues and says that Agawa looked worried as she said, something seems to be really bothering Ichinose-kun. Would you mind checking on him? And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.